I sold the FRS. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a few days and honestly I can say I'm pretty depressed. I had to even deactivate my Instagram because obviously you spend 5 years with a car, you learn to love it and take care of it. It's part of your life. I just had a realization at one point. It was time to let it go. It wasn't an easy decision. Obviously, it didn't come to me quick. I actually wanted to keep the car forever. I actually had really a lot of plans for it. I was gonna redo the rear bumper. I was gonna do the whole front bumper swap as well. I had plans with that. I was actually talking to shops, going to do a JDM bumper with the FRS. And I was also gonna go back to Rocket Bunny with my rear bumper. I actually just finished my FRS. As of March 2022, I finished my FRS, paid it off, and I honestly enjoyed not having any car payments. I had a thought. I'll put it up on Kijiji or Facebook Marketplace for a ridiculous price, a price point where I don't think I would get, but if someone were to buy it at that price point, I wouldn't be mad. So that was the original plan. I put it up on Kijiji for $18,000 Canadian. So that's what I did. I actually got a few offers. I got 2 or 3 guys come take a look at the car. One even test drove it. And first of all, that's a mistake. Don't ever let people test drive your car without cash in hand, because this guy scraped, because my car is pretty low. This guy scraped pretty bad, and I didn't even have a picture of his license. I didn't even have cash to fix the car if he were to have crashed it. So that's a mistake that I definitely learned from. So don't ever let people test drive your car unless they have cash in hand. That's for sure. And I got a lot of serious offers. Finally, I got a guy who actually same day he sold his car, bought my car. So at the end of the day, I sold the car for a decent price, more than what I could have gotten for it at a different market. The used market right now is pretty insane. I kind of capitalized on it, and honestly, the guy who bought it is super chill, super cool guy, and I know the car is going to be well taken care of. Now, obviously, I'm pretty depressed. I don't have a car, and stupid me, I kind of regret it. For the first few days, I was just like, oh, I'm so depressed. And I went to a dealership and actually test drove a car. And let's just say I was completely enamored by a particular car. Thing is, that car that I test drove wasn't for sale. Fast forward, you get back to the dealership, and I asked this guy, what's the wait time on these? And he told me 6 to 9 months. Nice. 6 to 9 months. So that completely just made me so depressed, because like I literally just sold my car and now I have to wait forever to get another one. Right now I'm driving my Yaris, which is a very good car for this for what's happening right now. At least I'm saving on this car, but I'm also saving on having 2 car insurances, because at the time I was paying for the Yaris and for the FRS. It's kind of good and bad that I sold the car early, but I'm also really depressed. I essentially went through an entire car season without a car. I've literally been to like 1 car show. So that pretty much wraps up why I sold the FRS. And I'll be honest, that build was pretty race. The point of me buying the FRS was actually just to have fun with it. I wanted to build the car the way I wanted it. At the time, I got it for super cheap. And it only had a few kilometers on it, and it was just that kind of market that you could buy a car for cheap. Bought it with the intentions of absolutely modifying the heck out of it, and it was one of my first cars I've ever modified. And, definitely a learning experience with that car. I realized what I should and shouldn't do. I realized what I should and shouldn't buy. I realized my own capabilities of maintaining a car, certain things that I can't do, and certain things that I have to go to a mechanic to do. For example, like just a huge example would be spark plugs. I honestly attempted to do one. As much as YouTube does help, there's a lot of YouTube videos that are like, oh, how to do spark plugs and stuff like that. It's not 100%. Some people say you can do spark plugs in like 1 or 2 hours by yourself at home. Uh, let's just say I'm not an expert, and I try to follow the video as much as I can, and it wasn't worth it. So I eventually had to go to a mechanic that I knew, and he did it in like literally 30 minutes. So I'm happy that I had it. I know it was rice. I have a lot of uh, I had a lot of race qualities about it, and I can absolutely admit to that. But that's part of the learning process, really, when you mature in building a car. Obviously, this new car, I already know what I should and shouldn't do, so I'm gonna try to build something a little more mature, and I'm gonna do things the right way the first time instead of doing the wrong way several times before I realize doing it the right time, like the fifth time. Like I said, it's a learning process. You learn what you should and shouldn't buy, what you shouldn't cheap out on, and how to buy quality parts the first time. So hopefully this when this new car comes in, I won't tell you what it is, but from what I can tell you right now, if you haven't already figured it out, 2022 models of this car are absolutely gone in Alberta, and I'm on a waiting list for 2023. As for the dealership that I went to, they said I was first in line, but that doesn't really mean anything when it's just a deposit. So I don't get a VIN essentially till November or December. So, but for now, I'll be making more consistent YouTube videos. What I'm gonna try to do is have a schedule, at least once or twice a month. I'm gonna be uploading, whether it be talking about the updates with my car, or even just random stuff I want to rant about, random things that I know I want to talk about, like how toxic the car community is. I think that would be the second, the video that's coming out next, is how really toxic the car community is. Even in Calgary, which is I feel is a pretty good car community, it's still pretty toxic. So it's not as bad as like other communities, but yeah, we'll save that for the next video. But I do want to talk about that. It'll just be my opinion. So that'll be on the next video, and hopefully you guys watch even though I'm in my ears. Stay tuned, and if you're watching this from like 2 or 3 years from now, when I get my new car and I'm modifying it, I mean, this is basically just an introduction on the build before the build. All right, I'll see you guys. Peace.